In it goes to the danger area, not quite get on the end of it. Kamara! He's put it in the back of the net! And Portsmouth have scored! Abu Kamara! He's got his hand up in the middle, and there's 4 to aim for, and a fifth arriving, and Lane's into the box. Lane across the middle, and the ball's in the back of the net! And Marlon Pack has converted and scores at the Meadow for the second straight season. Sadie is driving towards the penalty area, plays Kamara in, chance for Kamara, goal! Kamara has his second of the game, this time finishing inside the near post, and Kamara will go and celebrate with the Pompey fans away to our right. Portsmouth are running away with it, another away victory will be confirmed.
League table now, 7 points clear at the top. It's looking really good for Pompey.
Well, I looked at it and Bolton has slipped down. I mean, you know,
yeah, all the way to 5th.
You look 5 days ago, if Bolton had won, they'd have gone above Portsmouth. It's amazing how things can change so quickly in a week.
They are now 7 points clear. They've only lost once all season. I would be astonished if they're not in the, pushing for automatic promotion. You can see exactly why they are where they are. This is a Portsmouth team, remember, that haven't lost away from home in the Football League since March.
Difficult, isn't it, Mark, to not get too ahead of ourselves at the moment, because this is the third time Pompey have been top of League One at Christmas time over the course of the last 7 seasons. Obviously, previous 2 occasions have not ended in promotion.
Think back to 2018-2019, top at Christmas after the first half of that season, but how many games in that first half did Pompey romp to victory? How many times did they win really easily? Not many. It feels different this time. It feels like Portsmouth are comfortably better than a lot of the bottom half sides in this division.
They just keep giving us reasons to believe, don't they?
They beat Bolton in the week. Yengi gets a goal there. Another clean sheet. 4 straight away results. 5 away wins in 6. He won 7 out of 9 away. And they're unbeaten in 16.
Portsmouth are some sort of winning machine, aren't they, at the moment? We all sort of thought, they've lost Regan Poole. Colby Bishop's injured. They got stuffed 4-0 by Blackpool. The unbeaten run is gone. Well, they're just going to win the next 4 games, not a problem without conceding.
Portsmouth had every challenge thrown at them. Marlon Pack injured, star midfielder. Morell's been suspended for, so many times. Bishop injured. Who would be the bigger loss, Poole or Bishop? Well, they both got injured within 2 weeks of each other, so we couldn't really tell the difference. And they lost 4-0, and it was bad. But since they've lost, I think they've been better for it. And I think it needed to happen because it freed them up a little bit. And
I ask you one question. Could they?
Your back. I got my body on my back. I don't know, I really liked it. I felt like it went with the fit. The blue on the blue. Play at Pompey.
So you're going to buy it for the children, or are you going to buy it for yourself?
For the children. It's going to be sad when I give it away, but maybe not keep it. Maybe.
Guys, this is Chris Jr. He's been following me around today. This is my new best friend. He's got the same head shape as Cass. This is my new best friend. As you can see, me and him are attached. We go together, blue and blue. Supports Portsmouth. Chris Jr. everyone. Just going on a little wander with my mate. I'm gonna give this away when I go to the hospital.
Who are you going to give it to?
I'm not sure yet. I'm going to make my mind up when I get there.
Final question of the day.
Go on.
Your name?
I've called it Little Chris for now, but might name it Blue Storm. Oh, Blue Storm. Yeah. I'm going to name it Blue Storm. Blue Storm. What do you think of Blue Storm? I think Blue still good enough.
You're going to get these ups and downs over the course of the season. Okay, not one you would perhaps have expected today playing against Fleetwood, but it's going to happen. Yeah, you've got to be prepared for that.
That's it, isn't it? I think it's the fact that it was Fleetwood, in the bottom three, I think there, aren't they? So, like we said before the game, no game's easy. You've got to earn the right, and Fleetwood earned the right to get their point today. They've got players in there that will know it's disappointing, the result today, and they'll be honest enough to know that they probably didn't play well enough. They could have raised their game a little bit more, but and we've got to look at the whole picture, haven't we? It's halfway through, we're 5 points clear, 4 points clear if Bolton win their game, and that's a position where you wouldn't really grumble.
How to spoil Christmas for us. Supporters will approach Boxing Day more in hope than expectation after that performance against a side who hadn't scored in the last 6 games. Worryingly, we needed a penalty for the point. Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that, but you are still top of the League One table, remember, so you don't have to spoil your Christmas too much. It's a great place to be for Pompey. And look, John Messino clearly not happy. Sloppy, abysmal, some of the words he used in his interview there. Mentality not quite at it. Play in and around the final third wasn't good enough. Incredibly frustrated with Pompey boss and Guy Whittingham. It's hard to disagree with anything that he said there to Andy Boone.
What it is a stark reminder of how you have to earn the right in football, you have to earn the right in League One.
Here comes the effort, chipped into the back of the net, and Bristol Rovers have taken the lead. Try and drive forward. Is that a free kick? No, Pompey will play on, and Lane could be in here, and Paddy Lane with the chance, and Paddy Lane with the goal! Pompey do get level, and Lane says, let's go again! We've still got time!
You're happy with that? I mean, it's a fine balancing act, isn't it? Whether you take the point in the position you're in, or you go for all three, but you're happy with the way you approached it?
Yeah, I think so. I think when you're at the top because you go for it. I don't think you're at the top because you're cautious about things. I think when you need to change the game, which is Portsmouth what they needed to do. They weren't creating very many chances when John Messino made the substitutions. Suddenly they were. You've got to go for it. You don't get anywhere without taking a chance.
And I think 0-0 was the perfect result in that game. It was one of the most 0-0-ish games I've ever watched. It was drab at both sides. I know Exeter hit the post, but who cares? It wasn't that much of a clear-cut chance, I don't think.
Well, I felt sorry for you going along and for all the fans that did go along, to be honest. And when I saw that there were highlights on Sky, I thought, crumbs, they've done well, haven't they? That must be the shortest reel that they've ever put together.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know. I felt like I'd not used my evening in the best way possible, having sat on the sofa and watched it. Never mind having made the trip. So yeah, fair play to all the Pompey fans who did trek down to Exeter.
Oh dear. Yes, oh dear. 2 points from 9 is absolutely shocking. Call a spade, and that's far from good enough, I'm afraid. That was bloody awful, Barm. We could have stayed there until next week and still not scored.
The way we're going, the way we're slipping, your Boltons and your Peterboroughs are going to be knocking us out of that top two.
It's a very, very slender lead at the top now that is actually within a game's swing, really, isn't it, when you think about just 2 points hanging in the balance.
Form's temporary, class is permanent.
Drawing games, all given away, and Lane's got the ball to Bishop outside the penalty area. Here's Robertson looking for Lane, chance for Pompey, Lane scores! Paddy Lane! It wasn't the cleanest strike, it bobbled towards the bottom corner, and there's nothing Ashby Hammond could do, and Pompey have found that all-important breakthrough. Pompey 1, Stevenage 0. In for the afternoon. Lane in the box again for Pompey. Lane looking across into the area and into the net, and Colby Bishop has backhilled the ball in. He's back on the score sheet.
while there's a pack chasing, I think they would have all seen Portsmouth will have a difficult game today. Those that know how Stevenage play in this league will know that this was a very difficult game for them, and they've come through it.
A significant response from Pompey after the mini blip before Christmas. That is how you respond to a little bit of adversity. Colby Bishop is too short of the league's top goal scorer, and some people still think we're better off without him.
This is what makes me laugh, just because he's a natural goal scorer. If he's not doing that, apparently he doesn't bring anything to the team. He's not worthy of being in the starting 11.
And clearly he'd been listening to that, because when he scored, put the ball in the back of the net, he had his hands to his ears, and you could see he was sending a little message, Guy.
Yeah, the thing is, it's the minority, isn't it? That's what happens to social media.
He's the best striker we've had in a long time.
He is.
Someone cut that and send it to him, please. Thank you.
You know,
we're not all wankers.
I know Neil Allen said to me earlier about it, I don't think he's a natural finisher. Well, what is a natural finisher? You know, he
finished that one pretty naturally today.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I scored 13 goals and January the 1st. I think a lot of people would probably say, oh, that's a good start. But yeah, for some people, that's not good enough. But yeah, obviously I could do better, but I feel like I'm not doing too bad, if I'm being completely honest. We're top of the league and I've scored 13 goals.
Very lucky to have him. If you question that, you know nothing about football. Niall says the stick he's got from some of our fan base the last couple of weeks, given he's our best player and the best number 9 in the league, is embarrassing. Some crazy people out there.
We haven't seen the news. We've lost Robertson now, probably to the end of end of the season. He's torn. Has he torn his hamstring?
Yes, hamstring
tear. Yeah. So, but I think it'd be nice, lads. Now, if we know that, obviously, we know this is the outcome. If we do go up at the end of the season, he's got to be there at the end.
He'll be there.
Oh, he'll be there.
We bullied Cheltenham from minute 1 to minute 49, and from minute 53 to minute 90. All I can tell you is look at the stats. We buried them. Cheltenham was about a series of hugely costly mistakes in the space of 3 minutes that undid the work of the other 87, and it was such a rare game. I will remember that Cheltenham game for quite some years because of how incredibly one-sided it was outside of that fucking mental 3 minutes. Idiotic.
And then just a crazy 5 minutes in defence, and it was like we just lost our heads. That first goal went in, and it was like all the confidence and the good work that we've had up until that game had just gone out the window, and it was like we were on shaky ground. The foundations had gone, and it was like, you know, Cheltenham could sense blood. Their tails were in the air, they were strutting around like peacocks, and they deserved getting the second goal.
That 3 minutes might be the dumbest collective set of minutes of football I've ever seen from Pompey, like in such a short span of time, because everything from the moment it all went downhill in terms of composure to us being 2-1 down was extraordinarily dumb.
Assess the situation in the league. It's a meltdown on social media. You don't need me to tell you that.
No,
but it doesn't need to be, does it? Come on, they're still in a really good position.
I think most supporters will still have taken this position. It's going to be tough because, you know, 1 win in 5 is absolutely going the wrong way, and teams are getting encouraged that Portsmouth are dropping off in terms of results.
Need a stronger transfer window, hopefully, to just put us back on track. Play at Pompey, says Linda. You can understand why there is concern, considering Pompey's form around the Christmas and New Year period. This is the third time the Blues have been top of League One at Christmas, and the previous 2 occasions they've not won the league. In fact, on one of them, I think we even dropped out of the top 6 altogether. So you can understand why there is that concern.
So there is a long way to go, and I'm not saying it's over by any means, but the way that lead eroded so quickly at the top was concerning. It is concerning. But Orient was on the back end of an alarmingly falling off the cliff run that resulted in all these dropped points anyway. And then we couldn't even get out of the gate against Orient. We couldn't even get ourselves into a position to earn something in-game, then to throw it away. Orient was dreadful from start to finish. But good God, that run, people's worries were starting to become somewhat valid.
I don't know why we've dropped off. It takes a psychiatrist to work that out, but somehow we have. I think it's going to be extremely difficult now to get automatic promotion.
I mean, Bolton, Derby and Peterborough are all banging form, aren't they? Does that worry you? That looking at that,
Yeah,
how
no,
tight
well,
that
Dan, it worries me hugely. I think it really is looking bad because we've lost momentum.
And look, it's a concern. Pompey were flying at one point during the Fleetwood game. They were 9 points clear in the live league table. They're now 2 points clear, and Bolton have got 3 games in hand. And you would think the way Bolton are going, they're going to win at least one of those games in hand. Look, it's still a long way to go, but no question, Pompey cannot put too many more performances like that, because if you play that badly, you can lose to anyone in the division.
I thought we were really poor today, and Leyton Orient thoroughly deserved to win the game. We just didn't show any of the things that we've been showing over the past few months, I think, to put ourselves in this position. And I thought we looked like a poor side in every respect today. I think overall the takeaway is that we were well below par.
Jeff says, in your opinion, is this slump recoverable to achieve us automatics this season? As it stands with our performances, I struggle to see us getting enough points to make the playoffs. How, in your opinion, do we go on fixing it? So I think I've just touched on the fixing. You're going to have to change personnel, and if you could get 2 players in that make the first 11 better, that would be a big help. Is the slump recoverable to achieve automatics? Yes, but if you look at what's needed from here to make automatic promotion, that's still quite a big ask. In terms of the playoffs, I know you say you're struggling to see enough points to get in the playoffs. The thing is, we all feel like this when we watch a football team. If you win 3 games in a row, you think, right, that's it, we're winning the league, done. Lose 3 and it's relegation. Pompey only need to be decent between now and the end of the season to make the top 6. I think they will at least do that. I still think they'll be probably a top 4 finisher and in contention. They can recover and make automatic promotion, but they need to be very good between now and the rest of the season, and they're going to have to turn things around pretty quickly.
If you're asking me who I think are going to get promoted automatically, Bolton are a shoe-in for me. I think they're excellent, and they've got games in hand. And if they win them all, they can go to 60 points. They can go 7 points clear of Pompey, which is on the same games played. I know you've got games, you've got to win those games, but you'd back Bolton at the minute to go and win them. And my pick for second, mate, is Peterborough United.
You look at the teams around us and you think, hold on a second, everyone's in great form and we're falling off. Massinio came out in the press, I believe, over the weekend and talked about Sheffield Wednesday's blip at the end of last season, as well as Ipswich's blip earlier in the sort of Christmas time, and how both of them rebounded and came back and ended up getting promoted. Now, not saying that we're the same team in that sense, but it is quite possible you get a situation where a team goes through a sticky spell, considering we actually hadn't really lost a game, had we, for ages going into, I think it was November. So every team could go for a tough spell. So
Hugh, can I ask you a quick question? Do you worry about your gaffer making comments like that? Like, if that was Everett and he was referring to teams from last season, I'd be thinking he's feeling the pressure a little bit here. Why is he talking about other teams from previous seasons gone by?
Is that a situation of journalists being more focused on it and taking parts out of it? Maybe more so rather than that.
They've got some big recruitment to do this month. And it all hinges on this month for me, Ben, personally. If
do you think this January transfer window, right, I'll ask you this because I do, is Portsmouth have been in this division now. This is the 7th year of being in there, right? This is their 81st month of being in Sky Bet League. 80th, 81st month of being in here, right? Do you think this is the biggest yet? Because in the last 2 windows, you've got into, I think they had 56 from 26 a few years ago. Well, they've got 53 from 23 under Massinio. Different club, different players, but it's the same Portsmouth. And that weight of pressure and expectation do get to Portsmouth. And
so there is definitely pressure. The manager's got feeling pressure. The players are feeling pressure. Because at this end of the day, that they know that we could have been, I think it was nearly 8 or 9 points clear at one point, and now we're at a situation where, let's be honest, we're probably going to be overtaken by a couple of teams in the next few weeks.
Right then, top 2, gents. Hugh, if I ask you to pick a top 2 now, who do you go for?
Do you know what? I actually haven't thought about this. I've just been crying about our demise.